Earlier, it was as it has been quoted that India is a poor country and it doesn't have the caliber also to cope up with the international standards, and all those negative factors were looming around. And it is all old version of the facts and figures, but now it has thoroughly got changed. Tiruppur actually got evolved on its own strength on this knitwear industry. And right now it has become a hub for the entire nation. Tiruppur holds 60% of the nation's knitwear production. So rest 40% only happens all across the country. In India, Tiruppunji is to be considered as the highest rainfall receiver. But Tiruppunji might miss a day, but Tiruppur is not so, because every day 10 crore liters is getting recycled. And the entire district is connected with 650 megawatt. But Tiruppurians got invested on this green energy generators, on solar and windmill generators, to the tune of 2,500 megawatts. Very vibrant and effective theory which is running this factor is that yesterday's labor is today's own. So in entirety, everyone who got introduced to this stream of business have an equal opportunity to grow themselves. I am Raja Sanmugam, President of Tiruppur Exporters Association, and recently I have been appointed as Board of Member in Board of Trade, comes under Commerce and Industry Ministry, as a state representative. So this is and I have an experience onto this trade for the last 3.5 decades. Tiruppur actually got evolved on its own strength, and right now it has become a hub for the entire nation, holding 60% of the knitwear production happening center as Tiruppur. And in this, as I told that I have an personal experience onto this trade for the last 3.5 decades. And for the last 6 years, I am serving as the President of the Tiruppur Exporters Association. So we are collectively doing a lot of promotional efforts to grow this industry. Not only onto this Tiruppur, but even we are showcasing our model to get it replicated elsewhere in the country also. And that's the reason that even the recent visit of Honorable Textile and Commerce Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal ji, after seeing and notifying the vibrancy of this cluster, now he is calling for creation of 75 Tiruppurs across the nation. So these are all the acclamations I can quote right now about Tiruppur. This is the achievement, present day achievement. But the industry is set to grow always, because as long as mankind lives on earth, the demand grows for one product other than food is textile, the clothing. So nowadays, even the clothing has become more important than food, because we are all living in a dietary world and because of the dietary condition. So food requirement is receding proportionate to the population, but on the other hand, the conceptual changes are coming into play on the attire segment. So multiple dresses per day per person is required. So Tiruppur like centers have exponential prospects to grow, and particularly India has really an exponential prospects to grow onto this industry. On the sustainable front, knowingly, unknowingly, we have got scaled up on almost all the areas what is the buzzwords of the global players. If you take the water conservation, because of our compulsion due to the pollution issue, we were the first in the entire world to bring in the zero liquid discharge practice onto play. And due to that, we could able to address the environmental issue very effectively. On the other side, as a resultant factor, we could able to conserve water by recycling the water which is used for the processing. Per day, 10 crore liter water is getting recycled by using reverse osmosis and other techniques. So that is the biggest achievement on the sustainable front as water conservation is concerned. I used to tell that in India, Tiruppur used to be considered as the highest rainfall receiver. But Tiruppur might miss a day, but Tiruppur is not so, because every day 10 crore liters is getting recycled. So that much of an accomplishment on that front we have done. The next one is electricity. So Tiruppur, the entire cluster got connected to the extent of 250 megawatt as a load factor. And the entire district is connected with 650 megawatt. But Tiruppurians got invested on this green energy generators, on solar and windmill generators, to the tune of 2,500 megawatts. So on green energy front also, entire Tiruppur cluster deserved to be categorized as a carbon negative. So that is another strength what we have accomplished on our own. And the third one, we were blamed for deforestation because woodlots were subjected to use activating the boilers and all those things. So there also we have consciously want to get ourselves rid of that blame also. Now instead of deforestation, we have started afforestation around Tiruppur by forming two NGOs here. Through their help and through their involvement, in the last 6-7 years we have got planted 15 lakh trees. 1.5 million trees have got planted and it has been protected. So that front also we are done our achievement, and still it is in progress. So on all these three areas of sustainable factors, main sustainable factors, we are scaling high, and still we are improvising. Many industrialized zone, we would have witnessed, the world would have witnessed that the growth would happen on a vertical manner. So where a company would grown on sizes only. But Tiruppur is totally got evolved a different format, and here actually we have got grown the cluster. So here instead of vertical growth, the cluster growth has been, horizontal growth has been promoted. And very vibrant and effective theory which is running this factor is that yesterday's labor is today's owner. So in entirety, everyone who got introduced to this stream of business have an equal opportunity to grow themselves. So that is the strength of this cluster altogether. And as I have told that this industry has enormous potential to grow because of the necessities of the mankind. So the demand is ever-growing one. So Tiruppur has showcased all these days that how a small village, tiny village, some 5 decades back, has become a capital per network produce of the entire country, has got demonstrated already. And the unique phenomenon, how it has got grown and how it is growing, is also been witnessed, as I told, that yesterday's labor is today's owner. So the emergence of micro industries are imminent, and that is happening all across. So definitely this growth is going to be a wonderful achievement. So what the global brands and top brands and all the social welfare activists are aiming for, growth should be percolated down the line to all the downtrodden level people. So that is being executed by Tiruppurians in a realistic manner, and it is being showcased to the entire world. So that is the strength of Tiruppur, and the industry is also so supportive to accommodate this factor into function. Earlier, it was, as it has been quoted, that India is a poor country and it doesn't have the caliber also to cope up with the international standards, and all those negative factors were looming around. And it is all old version of the facts and figures, but now it has thoroughly got changed, and we got demonstrated to the world that how Indians are efficiently growing and getting groomed by themselves. And it has been demonstrated by IT industry. and where now IT industry, India has become a hub for the entire globe, and where it provides a service to entire globe over their territory or sitting from here, it has been done. And even if you take the launch of satellites also. So Indians have excelled the grown-up, so-called grown-up and developed nations like America and the USSR, and got demonstrated by launching vessel after vessel onto the space. So these are all the demonstrative achievements that what have been shown to the world. And further, in even this debacle, what the entire globe got faced because of the corona. So there also India was subjected to a lot of mental pressures and all the negative talkings around. But in the present establishment has taken stern steps towards providing security and providing well-beingness to entire mass. So thereby we have invented our own vaccine and got it produced in scheduled timeline and got injected to 200 crore doses across the nation at free of cost. And not only that, and we have exported to many countries who are starving for the vaccine doses. And that has got demonstrated. Even the developed nations are surprised to see these developments in a short span of time. And further to it, on the defense front also, India has demonstrated to the world that so far it was an importing nation. Now it has started to become an exporting nation on defense front also. So in all spheres of life, India is showing its stupendous growth phenomenon, and that has been well acknowledged across the global players. And now India has been looked as one of the superpowers of the present day establishment. As far as textile is concerned, we have enormous strength to grow further, and already we have got demonstrated. We have become an important player in the global circle. Here actually the advantages of for India is already it's abundantly available. That is the cotton is available in plenty, and man-made fiber manufacturing base is also next to China. India is there, and then having a young workforce, which is so required to run this industry, because this is a design-driven industry where manual interventions are more in number, and this is a labor-intensive industry. So there also we have enough to make use of it and to grow this industry. In addition to that, Tiruppur like cluster is being very well supported by the ports, because in Tamilnadu itself we have three major ports. One is Chennai, and then comes in Tiruppur, and near to Tamilnadu, the Kerala port is also, Cochin port is also there. So the connectivity and the air connectivity also, Coimbatore airport is now, it is getting widened up, and now the wider body aircrafts are going to be landed onto Coimbatore ground. And all these positive factors is set to grow this industry very fastly. And we as an association representative, we are also making the government to be aware of providing the policy supports, whatever is required, to make this industry to grow very fast in a faster mode, and to which only generates more jobs, as well as it fulfills the global market's appetite very effectively and very efficiently. So all these factors compounding, India is going to be a targeted sourcing center for the global marketers. And right now even China is all the brands are looking for alternative for Chinese supplier, and India is going to be the preferred destination for that on that aspect also. In textile, as well as Tiruppur, in a Tiruppur perspective, I can say that last year we have done a turnover of around 70,000 crore put together the exports and domestic. Export alone we have clocked 34,500 crore, and rest comes from the domestic supplies. And nowadays, because it's a uni market, so there is no real categorization between exports and domestic, because all products are sellable all across the global markets. So in that aspect, we are just visualizing that in another 2 years' time, we have to touch 1 lakh crore by then. Then definitely this, as I told, that this industry has enormous prospects for growth only. Easily the following years would be much faster in achieving the set targets year on year. So we fixed by 2024 we would cross 1 lakh crore. So from then onwards we have to see how fast we can replicate the turnovers in how many years. All those things will come into consideration later. As far as Tiruppur is concerned, already it has got into the global map on its own strength, vital strength, and the global players onto this industry. Everyone knows about the existence of Tiruppur, and so the connectivity now it has become so. The networking has become well established, and almost all the top brands they have a product being sourced out of Tiruppur. Even right now. So now what we are from our side, what we are working on is we want to enrich the product ranges, and we want to showcase those as a platter to the buying brands. So then automatically the brand's interest to source further styles and further quality ranges from India and from Tiruppur, obviously it would happen. So these are the growth prospects what we visualize, and it is going to certainly happen. And definitely they have all the well networking platform is in existence right now. So they can source directly. There is no necessity to get routed through government or something like that. So government can be a mute spectator only in this case, because the direct correspondence already got established and it is working on. So here on the growth is going to be, as I told, that the ranges, the new ranges what we are going to bring in and offer to the brands is going to be a new avenue for growth.